live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Loungetime. I'm your host, Rich Saile, and today we have round one of the college football playoff picks, guarantees, NFL Week 16 picks and guarantees. So this episode, I promise, will be a little bit on the lighter side than the analysis. Before we get into the picks and guarantees, just a reminder, we will have this episode go out live on Thursday morning. And then next week, it will be an episode only on Monday, just because I figured everybody's going to be away for the holiday. Only one episode should be enough. That will be a heavy analysis on the NFL Week 16 and maybe some of the college football playoff first round games. I'm expecting it to be mostly on two: Miami, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Oklahoma. But we will see how the card shapes out. And then it will be Week 17 rapid fire picks, because I want to get it out of the way. That way you guys can go enjoy the holidays with your families. And then the following week after Christmas and all that, we're going to do one episode on Monday. So it would be the 29th. I hope my days are right. And then because the playoff second round will be done by that Thursday, we're going to do it the Friday after New Year's. So I want to say that falls on the 2nd, because NFL Week 18 has Saturday games, and we're going to go from there at that point. You guys will kind of know the schedule based on how it falls. But basically, that's the upcoming schedule in a nutshell with the holidays. This is kind of the craziest time period before when we get to the NFL playoffs, where it will be a much more simpler schedule. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the college football playoff first round guarantees and picks. Now, you guys kind of know my picks because of the bracket show we had last Thursday. For those of you that do not remember who I had Oklahoma beating Alabama. I had Miami upsetting Texas A&M. I had Ole Miss beating Tulane, and Oregon beating JMU. Now, you're probably going to ask, Rich, does that change your picks that much? No, it does not. But I will still give you the picks anyway. For those of you that did not watch that show, I think it's better if I do it as well. So we're going to start off with Friday's game, starting off with the 9-8 matchup. Alabama travels to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners, where Oklahoma is a 1.5 favorite. The over and under is at 39.5 points. Wow, that's low. All right, now, Oklahoma won in Tuscaloosa about a little over a month ago, and I bet on that game. And what happened? Well, yeah, Alabama sold my parlay. And for those of you wondering, no, I'm not betting on this game. I have no interest, okay? Now, Alabama's dealing with some injuries now. Zabian Brown, one of their top corners, is out. And I know they've had a running back problem with Jam Miller being out, and then his backup being out, and they had a third stringer start against Georgia, and they really could not do much. And Oklahoma has been a team that win against Alabama essentially got them in the playoff. I know they beat, I want to say it was Missouri the week after, that kind of also helped a little bit, and LSU helped. But that Alabama game was the one that essentially clinched their ticket to the playoff. So that was the game that got them in. Now, do I think they're going to win in Norman their very first game in the playoff? Now, Alabama, obviously, when it was a 4-team used to be in back with Nick Saban, but Nick Saban's no longer there. So this is Alabama's first game in the playoff without Nick Saban. Kalen DeBoer is now the coach. This is year 2 for him. So One problem with Ty Simpson over the years has been elite defenses that always give him problems, and Brent Venables is one of the elite defensive minds in all of college football. And I am going to tell you right now, guys, I said I'm taking Oklahoma. I don't have a guarantee on this game. I'm strictly picking this game out of pure anti-Alabama, so I kind of want to joke and say Oklahoma guarantee, but I actually don't know what this game's going to be. Because I have a scenario where Alabama could win, and then I have to see them in Indiana, and I would hope Indiana beats the shit out of that team. Because I'm tired of these Bama bandwagons. They're literally my biggest villains now left in, well, them in Ohio State. Because the Chiefs bandwagons are in hibernation, and I don't care about them anymore. But now my two biggest sports enemies, I should say, right now would be Alabama and Ohio State bandwagons. I despise them because they act like they're big and above everybody, and it annoys the shit out of me. So I'm hoping Oklahoma wins. And I think this game might be close a little bit. I'm going to say this game, so they're saying it's not exactly 20-17, but if Oklahoma's favored by 2, and they're saying it's what? 36.5, so that's about 37. So we're looking at like something between like a 20-18, maybe 20-17-ish. I got it around there. I do. I could see that. Yeah. I'm going to go Oklahoma 20-17 on Alabama. I think Alabama struggled to move the ball against Georgia. Oklahoma, I think, is a little bit better defense than Georgia at times, and they've already beat them in Alabama. I think that's going to help them. The question is, with Xavier Brown out, does Oklahoma have enough big plays in their offense to move the ball against Alabama? And last game, it was really good field position that helped them out and turnovers. Well, what happens now if they don't get turnovers? That's what I'm wondering right now. I kind of like Oklahoma because that defense can get Ty Simpson into trouble, and Georgia's defense gave him trouble. I like Oklahoma to win in a nail-biter 20-17, and they go play Indiana in the Rose Bowl. Let's go to Saturday's action. In my opinion, now the best game of the weekend, starting at 12 o'clock. Number 10 Miami travels to College Station to take on the number 7 Texas A&M Aggies. A&M is 3.5-point favorites. The over and under is at 48.5 points. I want to make sure my eyes are right on that. Yep, 48.5 points. Honestly, I can see this game going either way. Now, I want to take A&M so bad. I do. But something is whispering in my ear saying, Rich, take Miami with the points. Because this is the game, I think, if anybody's going to pull an upset and the road team's going to win on the road in the first round, this is it. This is the team to do it. So if any home team's going to lose, it feels like it's A&M. Now, I like what Mike Elko's done so far at A&M. I do like what Mike Elko's done. Marcel Reed did not play well down the stretch. Down 31-0 or 30-0 against South Carolina, and I know it took one big half, but then you struggle with Texas in Texas, which I know is a tough place to play, but that is a cause for concern for me, and I know they got the extra week off to prepare for a home game, which is nice, but are they really that? Are they that good, or do they play a weak SEC schedule? And I'm going to tell you right now, Miami's been playing really good ball as well. So when I see a team that just recently lost and when I see a team that's rolling, technically my mind starts to say, well, shouldn't Miami, in my opinion, be the winner to win this game? I'm going to say yes, but I think this game is closer than the experts say it will be. So I'm going to say for this one, and I think both teams can score, so I want to take the over. I lean the over in this game. I think both teams can score. And I know Miami, they have some guys on defense. I don't know if they are the most, they're not a really great D, so I'm going to say, so it's 49, right? And it's by 4. So give me a second, folks. I'm trying to put it together. So they have it around 27, 23-ish, A&M. All right, I'll say this. I've got Miami 28, A&M 23. I'd lean the over. I like the points with Miami. Give me the 3 in the hook. I like the over a little bit in this game. This is what I like. Again, I don't love it, but if I wanted to get some action on this, I would say take Miami Hurricanes with the points, and I lean the over a little bit. I like 28-23 Miami upsetting A&M, and the first home team loses in the 12-team playoff. Let's go to the 3:30 game. Number 11 Tulane travel to Oxford, Mississippi to take on Ole Miss Rebels, where now the line shot up to 17.5. The over and under is at 56.5 points. All right, so these two teams met early in the year. Lane Kiffin was the coach for the first matchup. Now he's not. Their defensive coordinator, Pete Golding, is going to be the head coach for this game. But some members are allowed to coach for Ole Miss. Charlie Weiss Jr., their offensive coordinator, and among other assistants as well. So when I factor all this in, John Summerall, the Tulane coach, is taking the Florida job. So he's supposed to coach this game. I still like Ole Miss to win. I think this is the classic case of this team is going to come out inspired. They're going to want to play like it wasn't all about Lane Kiffin, especially in front of their home crowd. I do not see a scenario where Tulane makes it competitive through 3 quarters and then Ole Miss just kicks the doors off. I see a scenario like last year where we had Penn State just handle SMU. I see a scenario where we have not Notre Dame, Indiana. I wouldn't say even I could see actually a level of like Ohio State, Tennessee, but that's more for the JMU Oregon game. I'm trying to think of the other first round matchup that we had with that as well, and I'm drawing a blank on it. It was Notre Dame. Oh, well, Texas Clemson was a little competitive at one point. It wasn't a blowout, so I see this kind of like the Penn State SMU game last year. I think Ole Miss wins convincingly. I've got the Rebels winning, and again, I'm not taking any over and under. I'm not taking any spread. I don't like anything for these next 2 games, this one and the next one. I'm just taking Ole Miss to win. I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that high. I would kind of lean the under, but I'm going to say 35. I'm going to say 35-13, Ole Miss. I just think it's a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be like insane stat padding. Not with this team. Now, Oregon, maybe, which we're going to get into right now. So number 12, James Madison travels to number 5, Oregon, to take on the Ducks. The Dukes versus the Ducks. Interesting combo there. The line has moved up now to 21 points. Oregon is favored by. Over and under is 47.5. Oh, my Lord. Oh, man. So, JMU's coach, Bob Chesney, took the UCLA job. He's coaching this game. Dan Lanning company in Oregon, if they don't win by 21, I'm surprised. I'm not taking the 21 points. I'm not going to lay it. Nope. I'm not even going to go again on the total. Nope. I'm going to say Oregon wins and snap. I mean, this could literally be an over depending on Oregon's point total. I'm going to say this is like a 49-10 ball game. I think Oregon stacks up on JMU at half, and then I think they start pulling people like fourth quarter just because they got to get ready for a big Texas Tech game. And I just think there's no point of Oregon playing many guys this long. This is kind of, I hate to say it, but it feels like a bye game. But Oregon wins 49-10 with ease. Not taking the total or laying the 21. But if I had to guess, I'd say it goes over because I think Oregon just might surpass it with their team total alone. So really what I like guarantees-wise for college this weekend, I like the 3.5 with Miami. I like the over 48.5 a little bit with Miami and A&M. And then I don't love Alabama, Oklahoma. And then I definitely am not betting Tulane, Ole Miss, or James Madison, Oregon. No chance. All right. Let's go to the NFL because I'm going to be honest, guys, there's not a lot I like either. But I'm going to try to find something for you guys for that. So let's get into the NFL Week 16, where tomorrow is a big Thursday night game. NFC West powerhouses collide in CenturyLink Field. I hope that's what they call it. It used to be Quest Field years ago, I believe. where the LA Rams travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, where Seattle is now a 1.5-point favorite. The over and under is at 42.5 points. Now, for those of you wondering, why is Seattle favored when the Rams were technically favored by 1.5, and why is the total so low? Well, I have a feeling why I think it might be. Davante Adams is doubtful for this matchup tomorrow, and that's a big key piece for Matt Stafford. I'm going to tell you right now, I was going to pick the Rams before the Davante Adams injury. Now that I think about it, again, I doubt he has an awful game interception-wise for Stafford. I doubt it. But I'm looking at Seattle, and I'm thinking this is a golden opportunity for them to take a good chance at first place in this division. And I think Sean McVay knows this. But I'm going to be honest. I got to pick against the Rams once in a while, guys. Okay, I told you, they're my Super Bowl pick in the NFC. They're my pick to win it all. But I do think they'd lose a game before the playoffs. I do. Just like I said, again, with New England, I thought they were going to lose a game in the playoffs. And I happen to get last week's pick wrong with Buffalo, but I wasn't surprised. Now, I'm going to take Seattle here. I'm going to take Seattle on the money line, and I'm not going to touch the total because I think Seattle's defense is really good. Now, I think the key is, do they get pressure on Stafford, and are they able to disguise looks? Now, the first matchup, it was 21-19, and Matt Stafford statistically did not have a good game. And Davante Adams had only like a touchdown for like 1 yard. So it's not like, it is a big absence, but it wasn't like he had that much production the first go-around. And I'm not going to lie, Puka Nacua, why do you have to do some things that just are so controversial before this game? Like, why? You're saying that the refs are so bad in the NFL, and that's bulletin board material for the refs calling your game, and you're going to get fined for that. That's dumb, number one. And then two, you're doing a dance that you're going to get a lot of heat. Why? I know you're young, dude, but come on. No, you've been in the league 3 years. Cut the crap. No, not cool. Not cool, man. I like Seattle to win. I'm going to say this might be, it was 21-19, so this was 40. So they think it's 3 points more. I'm going to say this one's going to be low scoring too. I've got, I think Seattle gets 20. I think the Rams get 13. I think this is a game where the Rams offense might struggle. In Seattle, they had a really strong second half with Detroit, but I think, again, Stafford losing Davante Adams for this game, and Puka's going to get double teams often. They're going to force, again, let Kyrie Williams beat him. They're not going to let Stafford go off. Mike McDonald's a really good defensive coach. I think Seattle comes away with a win, 20-13, really low scoring game. I'm going to try to watch this game. I'm going to be a little behind because I'll be covering an event that day, but I will watch it, I promise, and I will have analysis on this game for Monday's show. You won't have to fret, guys. All right, let's go to Saturday's action where we have a doubleheader. We have the Eagles traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders, where the Eagles are 6.5-point favorites on the road. The over and under is at 44.5 points. Now, FYI, for those wondering, some betting nuggets going into this game. Jaden Daniels shut down for the remainder of the season. I don't know why Dan Quinn and them did not do this earlier, but that's why the Eagles are favored by so much on the road. And Mariota's now starting, it looks like, again. And I don't know if I like Mariota in this spot. I'm going to say no because I'm tempted to take the plus 6.5 with Washington. I don't know why. Because I feel like the Eagles, again, the Raiders are just so bad. But Washington now without Daniels, no, I'm not even going to touch the total. I'm not even going to touch the home underdogs Commanders. No. I'm going to say the Eagles win. Can they get to 23-24 against Washington? I think they can. Give me 23-13 Eagles beating the Commanders at home. Well, in Washington. At home will be 2 weeks from now. 23-13, Eagles beat the Commanders. I think they get going on offense, and I don't know how Washington's going to generate offense with the way Mariota looks on without, I guess, Debo's not right, and I'm not sold on Washington to get right. And the Eagles know they got to clinch the division, so they're going to want to win this game. 23-13, Eagles. Now to the nightcap game. The Packers travel to Chicago to take on the Bears, where the Bears are a 1.5 favorite. The over-and-under's at 46.5 points. Now, 2 weeks ago, these two teams met in Lambeau Field. It came down to the wire. We all know what happened at the end. So it was a 7-point game, 28-21. Now, Parsons being out this game, this might factor in my decision. I was going to take Green Bay. Something tells me, though, I'm going to take the Bears. I don't know why. I'm going to go with my small feeling that, you know what, I'm going to take it. I think that the Bears, now, with this game at home, it's the biggest game for the Bears, I want to say, since the double doink game. I mean, do you want to go 2010 NFC Championship game? Do you want to go that far back? I don't know. But I'm going to go Chicago to win. I think this is going to be a game now where, with Parsons out, Green Bay's defense is good. I just think they're not going to win this week. I like Chicago to win. I'm going to go, it's another game where I think defenses are going to play a little bit of a role. I'm going to go 24-16 Bears over the Packers. I would kind of lean the under, but again, I'm not betting it. So 24-16 Bears beat the Packers, and the North gets really interesting. Let's go to the Sunday slate, where the Buffalo Bills travel to Cleveland, the Dog Pound, to take on the Browns, where the Bills are 10.5-point favorites. The over and under is at 41.5 points. Now, wishful thinking hopes the Bills lose, because that way it makes me as a Patriot fan feel a little bit comfortable that we're one step closer to clinching the AFC East. We had a shot last week, I know. But if the Bills lose, that would be great. Now, ideally, I do not think they're going to lose this game. I have the Bills winning. But Myles Garrett, I am rooting for you to get that sack record, because if you do it in 16 games or less, you've earned the real record of sacks. I know Strahan has it, tied with TJ Watt. TJ did it in 17. Strahan did it in 16, but everybody gives him crap with the Favre sliding down because he knew he was going to get sacked. I kind of want Myles Garrett to get 2 sacks against Josh Allen to break the record. I hope he does do it, because if Myles Garrett does do it, that would be awesome. He's deserving of this. I'm going to go with the Bills to win, though, because I feel like 10.5 is a lot of wood to lay with Cleveland. I mean, not to lay with Cleveland, but a lot to lay with Buffalo. But I really wanted to take the 10.5 with Cleveland. I'm not going to do it, because Cleveland's offense with Shedeur Sanders, I mean, Stefanski's pulled him out on 2-point conversions. I'm not even going to waste my time with this. I do think the Browns defense, if they can get pressure on Josh Allen and that secondary can be on the same page, I think that the Browns' key is, can they stop the run? If they can stop the run and pull off an upset, it wouldn't fully surprise me. But I'm going with the Bills. I'm going to say they put up 35 against us, but I think the Browns' defense is not terrible. I'm going to say the Bills get 30. The Browns get, weird score, 30-15. Don't ask me why they go for 2. It just might happen, and they might get one. So 30-15, Bills beat the Browns in the Dog Pound. Let's go to NFC South action, where the Bucs travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers, where the Bucs, despite losing 5 of 6, are 3-point favorites on the road in Carolina. The over-and-under is at 45.5 points. Okay, now, this is the upset right here, because Carolina lost to New Orleans. Now, if you guys know Carolina, this is the week where They looked awful. This is the week where they're going to get right, I think. Because with Carolina, they look good one week and they look shit the next. And then they look really awful, and then they look really good another week against a good team. The Bucs are sliding, and I don't know if Todd Bowles has officially lost that locker room. If he has, give me the Panthers. Plus the points, give me the money line. I like Carolina to win. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Bucs lately. I know the Bucs are more talented, but Bryce Young, this is a big game for them because if they could steal this game, this is huge for them going forward because if they can win this game, they can help their NFC South stock a lot. And I'm going to go with Bryce Young. I think the Bucs are just defensively, they're giving up big plays. Kyle Pitts went off against them last Thursday. And I know Mike Evans is back on offense. Something is wrong with the Bucs. I can't grasp my hand around it. But Carolina, I think Bryce Young, if they can run the ball with Dowdle and Hubbard, and if they can get Ted McMillan, Leggett going as receivers, this team could be pretty good. And their defense is honestly sneaky good. Give me the Bucs to lose on the road and the Panthers to win. So I'm going with the Panthers, 27-24 on the Bucs. The Panthers take control of the NFC South because I don't like what I'm seeing from the Bucs. All right, the LA Chargers travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, where the Cowboys are 2.5-point favorites. The over and under is at 49.5 points. So the Chargers, who limped their way past the Eagles, past the Chiefs, are 2.5-point dogs in Dallas. I know people say it's tempting. I'm not all the way there yet. I know the Cowboys lost to Detroit, and they lost a game they should have never lost again to Minnesota. Well, who knew J.J. McCarthy was actually good after the way he was playing beforehand? Shout out to my buddy Kyle. He told me JJ was terrible. Well, I joked with him Sunday night. I'm like, JJ, 2 wins in a row. And he's like, yeah, he's solid. So he's not all the way back on JJ McCarthy, but I got to get my man on Loungetime. But have him talk JJ, have him talk Vikings a little bit. But they're kind of out, so I don't know if he'll do it. But back to this game, man. I like the Cowboys to win. I don't like what I'm seeing from the Chargers lately. I think they're kind of limping their way these last couple games. I feel like this is a potential game they lose, and I like the Cowboys to win. And I'm going to say this is a really, really under type game. I think this game falls in the lines of, let's go 23-19 Cowboys. I think this is a heavy field goal game. I think Chargers pass defense is really good. Dallas is going to try to run the ball. Javonte Williams, he's the X factor in this game. But I'm going with the Cowboys to beat the Chargers 23-19. All right, let's go to the Vikings traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on the Giants, where the Vikings are 3-point favorites. The over and under is at 43.5 points. JJ's rolling, but Jackson Dart is still playing, I believe. But I think he was evaluated again for concussion. So I don't know if he's going to play this week. I'm going to say this to you guys. I was really going to take the Giants with a 3. Now I'm a little hesitant because J.J. McCarthy is playing good and Jackson Dart, again, with another possible concussion protocol thing. And let me double check for you guys because I feel like, again, like, really? Well, I hope not, but actually I hate the Giants, but it's because of history. Then again, I just, let me see if he's out. I want to pull it up for you guys just to make sure. Let's see. Surprised by latest concussion check. All right. So he's healthy, but he's, I guess, checked for concussion because of the way his play style is. All right. Let's put it this way. I am going to go with the Giants. Give me the upset. I'm going with the Giants. They've been a weird team with the point spread lately. I am going with Jackson Dart and company to beat JJ. Neither one of these teams is doing anything as far as a late surge in the playoff. Both teams are eliminated, so I'm not even going to waste my time. Give me the Giants. We're going to go, watch this be a weird game too. Give me 30-26 Giants beat the Vikings because, watch, something weird is going to happen. It's like these games you don't expect to be high scoring. Well, they do. Kansas City Chiefs, first game without Patrick Mahomes, travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans, where the Chiefs are 3-point favorites. On the road, the over and under is at 37.5 points. Gardner Minshew versus Cam Ward. Oof. Just because I hate the Chiefs bandwagons, and I think the Titans actually might get a win, because everybody claims Kansas City's bad, around, like, supporting cast around Mahomes, everything. I'm going with the Titans to win just because I want to pick an underdog, and I'm not afraid to take upsets. Give me the Titans, though. We're not even going to waste our time with this. I am going with the lines of... Sheesh. I'm going to go with like a 19-12 game. No thanks. Two teams also who aren't doing much either. Both are eliminated. The Bengals travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins, where the Bengals are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under is at 47.5. This one, watch being over. This one, I'm saying, is going to be along the lines of, and they're having it right at 28-20 total-wise, but I think it's going to be, I'm going to say 28-20 Bengals. Miami's defense is not that much really better, and I think that, again, I'm not even going to waste my time on two teams being out. But I just think Bengals, Jamar Chase, Burrow, they're going to get right. Miami, they got embarrassed on Monday night. I think they get handled. All right, the Toilet Bowl. The Jets travel to New Orleans to take on the Saints, where the Saints are 4.5-point favorites. Over and under is at 40.5 points. So this could be potentially the race for the first pick in this year's draft coming up. Oh, God. Saints playing good ball. Fuck, man. Why am I getting garbage games to pick? Give me, I'm just throwing a score up for grabs like it's a raffle. Let's go 18-13 Saints. I don't give a shit about two bad teams. All right, I'm sorry. Plus, I want to get this episode out of the way for you guys, because you guys, don't care about bad teams. That's what my rule on the show. Once you're eliminated, you're out. That's why I'm sorry if I took a little bit long, but especially with some of the other teams that are eliminated. So, all right, now we get to some meaningful games. Here we go. Or at least one meaningful game. The Jacksonville Jaguars travel to Denver to take on the Broncos, where the Broncos are 3-point favorites. The over and under is at 46.5 points. This is a conflicting spot for me because I have basically given up the fact that New England is not going to be the 1 seed. But if Jacksonville wins, it's like a double-edged sword in a way. Because if Jacksonville wins, and just say New England beats Baltimore, both of us are a game behind Denver for the 1 seed. No, because we would have 3 losses. We'd be tied. Never mind. Jacksonville would be a game behind both us and Denver for the 1 seed. But if Denver wins, Jacksonville's theoretically out of getting a top seed, meaning they're not going to get the 1 seed. They'll get a 2 likely. 3 would be kind of where they're expected at, but they could also drop to potentially 6 or 7. And if I'm thinking smart, I kind of need them to lose. That way the Texans get that division. So this is a very tricky spot for me. But I'm going to go with what I realistically want and I believe will happen. So that's where the realism in me happens to showcase itself. And the realist that I am. I am going with Denver to win because I think their defense is going to rattle Trevor Lawrence. And I just think Travis Etienne, if they cannot run the football with Etienne, it's going to be a long game for Jacksonville. But I do think you're going to hang a little bit close. I just think the Broncos are going to cover within the 3. I like Denver to win. And I don't think they're going to get 34 on Jacksonville. I think they're going to get 27. I'm going to say 27-20 Denver. I think Jacksonville's going to hang around a little bit, but I don't think they're going to do anything crazy. So I'm going to go with Denver 27-20 on Jacksonville. And over-wise, all right, fine. I guess I have a little action. Why not? But I don't love the over, okay? All right. Oh, God. Another garbage game. Great. Let me get the 2 garbage ones out of the way before we get to another game that kind of matters. The Atlanta Falcons travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals, where the Falcons are 3-point favorites. The over and under is at 48.5 points. All right, basically this is for draft pick seeding. Give me Atlanta. They're playing better. They just beat Tampa. I think Kirk Cousins beats the Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon, I feel like that team is just spiraling downwards. I like Atlanta to win 31-17. I don't even give a shit about this game. All right. Steelers travel to Detroit to take on the Lions, where the Lions are 7-point favorites. The over-under is at 51.5. This feels kind of high. And the Lions, I know they could score in the Dome. The Steelers coming off a big Monday night win, but they need this game for the division. But I don't think the Steelers are that good. I don't. I'm going against Awful Take Al. He's ruined both Pennsylvania teams. Regardless if both make the playoffs, they're losing first round anyway. I am going with the Lions to win because I think that their offense, this is where they thrive in the Dome. I think they're going to score. I'm not sold on the Steelers' defense. I think this is where they eat up Terrell Austin running single high defense. I like the Lions to win, and we're going to go somewhere along the lines of 31-20. Lions beat the Steelers. Oh, God, another garbage game. All right. The Las Vegas Raiders travel to Houston to take on the Texans, where the Texans are 14.5-point favorites. The over-and-under is at 37.5 points. Lord have mercy. This game is going to be terrible to watch. I feel bad for you, though, guys, that you have to watch this, okay? Unless you're a Texans fan. Then you're in your glory. Houston wins. I think this game is along the lines of I even think they get to 30. I think Houston wins 30-9. This is a blowout. 30-9. Geno or Pickett. Well, no, Pickett's now starting. Pickett against that pass rush? No thanks. Houston 30-9. No more analysis needed. Okay, now we get to two meaningful games. My New England Patriots travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, where the Ravens are 3-point favorites. The over and under is at 48.5 points. The number one rule is not to bet your team in gambling. I'm not doing that. I will say to you, we've had our troubles with Lamar Jackson in the past. And what worries me is that their offense has, and now they've got Todd Monken calling plays. So this is the first time New England's going to see Todd Monken's offense. Before it used to be Greg Roman, who's now with the LA Chargers. And Derrick Henry, he knows Vrabel's defenses very well from their time in Tennessee together. But also Mike Vrabel has beaten Lamar Jackson before. 2019 playoffs, 2020 in the regular season. So, there's some history on the line too. What have I told you guys leading up into this game? The Ravens will always play us tough, even though they're awful, or we're awful, or we're both good, or if one's good and the other one's not. Either way, they will play us tough. So I'm not even touching the spread. I'm not even going to touch... Maybe lean the over, maybe, but I don't even love that. But I'm a man of pride. Okay? I had to hear my friend Joey celebrate the Knicks NBA Cup like he acted like they win the finals. And I told him I let him have it because he let me celebrate against the Buffalo Bills week in 5. Okay, so I'm letting him have this. But this is a game that New England Patriots have to win. Because if you win, you get in the playoffs, and I can be happy, and I will debut the Super May shirt again if that happens. But I'm going to tell you something right now. You cannot lose this game. Because if you lose this game and Buffalo beats Cleveland, God forbid, then you're going to lose grip on that division, and that's going to be a bad sign that we cannot have happen. We cannot have that happen. We cannot have this happen. Okay, so we have to win this game. The problem is this man, Lamar Jackson, he has beat us in 2019. Never forget, that was the Sunday night game. His first one, his coming out party to the world on primetime. He beats us in 2022 in Foxborough because, God damn it, we just don't double cover Mark Andrews. But this is the one time they're vulnerable, and I know how these games go. I know how they go. But Drake May, everybody's ruling him out, and I want to say this to you publicly. I saw a video from, you guys, the real OGs will know this. This was from 3 years ago. We haven't talked about him until now. Remember 3 years ago, and you can go find the video, Remember that NFL nerd that we used to make fun of about him roasting that the Patriots would be the second worst team in the AFC back in 2022 when Matt Patricia was the OC? Okay. And then remember how he predicted that the Jets would end up making the wild card over us, which never happened, and he picked the Jets to sweep us that year? Okay, so that nerd Adam Shine, he said on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM, that the Patriots are quote-unquote frauds after their loss to the Bills. So this guy is a Bills homer. Okay, he's a Bills homer. That guy is the biggest man crush on Josh Allen in the media. I don't think we're frauds. I think that's strong. Really, really inaccurate because you don't win 10 straight on accident. I don't care what the schedule is. That's hard to do in this league. And you completely ignored the fact that we were up 21-0 on a team that is really good. And it's hard to sweep that team. However, frauds because of one bad half on both sides of the ball after one game we lose for the first time in, what did Vrabel say, 83 days? Is that right? All of October? No, is it really? Is it 83 days? I can't be right. Is it? No. It feels too long, too. Yeah, no, it feels way off. Anyway, the point of this is, he said, let's go build a new one. Now, I did say, too, New England losing before the playoffs could be a good thing. This is the game. You got to respond. You cannot let the Ravens get a game that they think, because it's, the New England Patriots, we're going to always play them tough. We got to put them away. We got to take control of this game. Their defense is not very good. Lamar Jackson, we know he's a turnover machine. We know he's going to look to run, okay? And if anything, you got to double team Andrews at all costs. I'm sure Vrabel's going over with his guys. Hopefully, we get Milton Williams back for this game. He got hurt, the Jet game, so he missed the Bengals, he missed the Giants, he missed the Bills. I hope he's back for this game. I'm going to say he isn't. I'm taking my New England Patriots to win. We got to respond. There's no excuse. We got to respond. We got to win and get a playoff spot. We got to still do this. We still can win the AFC East. You know what it is? Because you know what it is, guys? I got clowns, aka some of my friends, but some clowns that are not my friends, poking fun at me already, saying, what does it feel like now to sound like a Chiefs delusional bandwagon after you guys lost to the Bills? And I got some fucking rage baiter that happens to be one of my friends that's saying, I'm worried about a team that's eliminated. Well, you know what my response to that knucklehead is? You know what this is now? This is the beginning of Rich versus the world, meaning everybody don't want to see me happy when my New England Patriots want to be good again and we're finally fucking really good again and that we could make a run in the playoffs. Not everybody. There's some that do want it to happen. I want to be very, very clear. I'm not going to name drop them, but there are some people that want to see me happy, but there's some of them that don't. And you know what I say? It's Rich versus the world, baby. I'm taking my New England Patriots. They're going to make the playoffs. We're going to win this game, and we're going to finally end the Lamar Jackson troubles against us. Give it me and my New England Patriots. I'm doing this with pride. And they've given up points before. I'm going to say 30-23. New England beats Baltimore. And we finally get our playoff spot. We get back on track. We respond well. And the New England Patriots are going to go to M&T Bank Stadium, beat the Baltimore Ravens, and beat Lamar Jackson. And Drake May still stays alive in the MVP race. 30-23. Patriots beat the Ravens. All right, Monday night, we got the 49ers traveling to Indianapolis to take on Phillip Rivers and the Colts, where the 49ers are 6-point favorites, and the over and under is at 46.5 points. Now, Colts traveling back from Seattle, Niners traveling halfway across country. Robert Saleh is going to have his hands full with Jonathan Taylor. I do think that defense is going to play much better. But I'm going to go with the Niners because that team is rolling, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to say this. Depending on what happens in Rams Seattle, they're in a really good shot to be the 5 seed or the 6 seed. Depending on what happens. Because if they get in as a 5 or 6 seed, I kind of like Shanahan's group in the playoffs. I do. Even with the injuries, I still like this team. Give me the Niners, but I think this game's going to be a little closer than 6 points. I'm kind of leaning Colts hang around. They hung around Seattle really good. I'm going to say the Niners win. We're going to say, this is going to be an odd score too. I'm going to say 26. Heavy field goal game too, I think. But I do think, I'm going to say 26-16. Niners beat the Colts in Indianapolis. And Phillip Rivers is not doing much. That dude's old man. And I know people say he did good against Seattle. I'm not buying one game that he had. Anyway, so those are my NFL Week 16 picks and guarantees. We don't really have a lot this week because I didn't like the card this week. But that is my NFL picks for the Week 16. So now, quick recap. Monday, we're going to have Week 16 analysis NFL, some college football analysis for the first round games, the good ones, obviously, if they're all good games and close. But mostly an NFL Week 16 analysis on Monday. That will be the only show next week because of the holidays, because I want to get one episode and get it out of the way. Also, the following week, after Christmas, we're going to do a show Monday, which will be a recap of NFL Week 17, and it will be a preview of the second round matchups for the college football playoff, the quarterfinals. Also, I forgot to mention on next Monday's episode, that will also be the Week 17 picks as well. So, next Monday, Week 17 picks, Week 16 analysis for NFL, some possible college football playoff analysis. The following Monday, after the week of Christmas, we are going to do a Week 17 NFL analysis, preview of the college football playoff quarterfinals, and then we're going to do a post-analysis on Friday where we're going to do the 4 games analysis of the quarterfinals for college football, and we're going to do NFL Week 18 picks because there are games on that Saturday. Everybody follow? And then it will be back to our normal scheduled programming from there. We might start going to Monday and Friday when we get to the playoffs. If I have guests join, that will change. I will let you guys know, of course. Thank you guys for tuning in to Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below to get all the latest content for the NFL season. We're just getting into the really fun part. The creme de la crop. The playoffs are upon us. We're going to have people make their playoff brackets. We're going to have them make Super Bowl predictions. We're going to see if there's upsets. You do not want to miss out because there's a lot to get into with January football where it means something. And we're going to have a lot of guests, hopefully, throughout that span. I'm trying to get a couple people to come on for the playoffs. You can also follow me on Rumble. Guys, we're looking to build a new community there. We've got a couple people following us on Rumble. We're looking to build a new fan base to grow into another network where we're trying to build a new fan base, and we welcome those that want to join on Rumble, but all you guys have to do is hit a follow on Rumble for my channel, and you guys will get all the content needed for the NFL season. We can't do it without you guys. You can also follow me at Loungetime Pod on X, where I will answer questions on the show. All you have to do is just tweet at me. I promise I will give you some time to answer that question, and I'll give you a shout out, I promise. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys on Monday where we break down the first round of the college football playoff and NFL Week 16, and we go over NFL Week 17 picks. It'll be a jam-packed show. But until then, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.